Is this thing on? Oh, sweet. Okay. So we are going to unbox this guy right here. I think it's gonna be pretty sweet. I'm really excited to get into it. It looks huge, so I really hope it fits in my case. Do your research first. It's probably a really good idea. Got a card in here, a little envelope. This is gonna have the quick start guide, some other stuff here, goodies and QR codes and all that good stuff, installation guide, and how to upgrade your graphics card if you need that. So yeah, it's not quite as long as I thought, which is good. We've got the brace for it, which will help it, because it probably will have some sag, so that's good. Some 3M tape. So it had a really thick construction. It's super solid, which I can appreciate. The build quality feels really good. The backplate on the back feels pretty thick, which I like that. Pretty thick fans. They remind me of the 2000 series EVGA cards that came out that were just so hefty. And then we have 4 ports here on the back. So 4 ports there. And yeah, it's just super sick looking. I think this should fit pretty nicely in my build. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna clean some stuff off, and we'll probably do like a little time lapse of me putting it in there. And we should be in pretty good shape. It does take 2, looks like 2 8 pins for power. So I'll have to dig out power supply stuff too. So I will go ahead and get some stuff together, and when you see me again, it'll be a time lapse. I just want to take a quick second to show. So this is my old graphics card. This is a 1660 Ti. It is also an MSI. This is the Ventus OC. It's a little dusty. Nothing super horrible on the fans. But check out the size difference between these guys. And that's a dual fan also. I feel like this one was even small housing-wise for a dual fan. So kind of crazy. Huge difference. Overall, I like this card. Performance-wise, I'm getting pretty much what I expected out of it. I think, for my use, I really am just gaming on it, I'm streaming on it, and I'm maybe doing a little video editing, maybe some music. So overall, that's what I'm using my system for, and for the parts that this is going to come into play, I think it's going to serve a really good purpose for me. I am pairing this with an i7-8700K with a slight overclock on it. I'll have the rest of my specs for my build on my screen. But, you know, honestly, for what I'm using it for, I'm getting good FPS. I managed to play pretty much the two titles that I play the most is Overwatch and Warzone, and, you know, I'm able to crank the settings up well above what I could with my 1660 Ti and get, you know, well over 150 frames. So I'm pretty happy with the results on that. So overall, I think gaming-wise, it's great. And for streaming, which was the other piece that I wanted this for, I think it's going to do really well. Also, I have not had the chance to stream with it yet, but I have had the chance to play around with the broadcast software that Nvidia made, which I did not have access to with the 1660 Ti that I had. And I'm using it right now, actually, and I have a pretty run-of-the-mill webcam. It's actually pretty old, so it's 720p. It's a Logitech. I forget the name exactly. I'll post that in the link for if anyone is curious what I'm using. But it's does a really good job, actually, of blurring the background. So I'm using the background blur right now, and I think it actually does pretty well. Like, I'll move my hand, and you can see, like, there's some adjustments that it's making. Sometimes it doesn't really do great with the chair. But overall, me, the subject, for the most part, is well within, you know, frame. I'm sharp, everything else is blurred, and I do have the intensity of the blur up pretty high, but you can adjust that in the software itself. Very easy to use, very simple, and I think the camera bit is actually in beta at the moment. But it's actually pretty effective. I think it's working pretty well. I'm actually moving right now, so it's a godsend because my room that I stream in is pretty messy at the moment. But yeah, in terms of the rest of the software, it also has some noise suppression, which I'm not using on the current microphone. But if you have a mic and you have a lot of noise and you're using like it, even for just things like Discord, that's pretty awesome if you don't want to use their noise suppression that I think they have like a noise gate beta. But yeah, if you want to use this, I think it works really well. I've done some testing with it, and I had like the television on in the background, and it worked pretty well to intelligently identify the noise and get rid of it. So I was pretty impressed, actually. I wasn't too sure how that was going to work out. After watching the promo videos from Nvidia, I felt like it seemed a little bit too good to be true, but so far so good. But I think aesthetically, this card ticks a lot of boxes for me. It's bulky, right? It's a big card, but it's kind of understated in the looks, especially the lighting. It almost looks classy because the lighting has kind of a frosted look. So it actually ends up just pulling the card together a lot for me on that top piece. Now I have mine mounted a traditional way, but you can mount it vertically, which the bummer for me mounting it the way that I did is that the GPU support arm, that bracket actually obscures all of the lighting on the underside of the card. So there are some really cool little pieces of lighting on that. I can't see any of it. It's totally obscured. If you do mount it vertically, though, you'll have access to the fan side of the card, the underside, and you'll actually be able to see the lighting a little bit better. So definitely consider that if aesthetics is a bigger deal to you when purchasing this card, because the majority of the lighting is actually on the underside. Another weird thing that I came across was that Mystic Light completely disappeared from Dragon Center after downloading it. So I wasn't able to interact with the RGB settings anymore. So mine is just stuck on white currently. I am going to look into updating this and see if this fixes the issue. If you've also noticed this, I did read on a couple of forums that a few people were having this issue actually. So if you happen to have encountered this issue, let me know in the comments what you guys did to fix it, or what if any fixes are available. But yeah, Mystic Light did disappear, so I was not able to manage the lights anymore. So that was a little bit weird. In terms of the adapter, I really liked the fact that there wasn't one. It's just straight up two 6+2 cables, just regular old PCIe, run-of-the-mill PSU stuff. So nothing crazy that you had to get that was proprietary or anything like that. So I definitely like the fact that I didn't have to do anything super different. Made, navigating, getting it all plugged in and everything super easy. The only kind of troubling thing about this card is I've had it for a few days. I think I've had it actually installed for like 3 days. I started reading, because I got this on launch day, and I started reading on some forums, and a lot of people have had trouble with this card. So I am really hoping that this particular model does not fail me. I've had a few people say that they had the card for a couple days of sort of normal to intense use, and it died within 2 days. And hopefully that's not a regular thing, but it does seem, potentially to be a problem with the capacitors, like on the 3080 potentially have that problem as well. So hopefully, knock on wood, I don't have any issue that way. But in the event that I do, I'm sure I'll handle it if that happens. But I am pretty excited to test this out with video editing. That's what I'm gonna do here shortly once I'm done recording this. And other than that, though, it's pretty much a done deal. I am a fan of the card, and I think if you're looking for something in this budget, I think I paid a little over $600 after taxes. It's a great card so far, so I'm really pleased with the results that I'm getting, and I hope that I continue to like it. But I think if you're looking for something like that and have similar needs, it's a great card. So I highly recommend it so far.